Lesson 9. Cricket and its Champions. Neville Cardis. Introduction. Neville Cardis is a famous writer on cricket. His relationship with cricket began as early as his 13th year. He was appointed as a cricket coach at Shrewsbury School. There began his cricket career, never to end in his lifetime. He is an authority on cricket, on which he has written voluminous books. He was equally an authority on music too. For several years he was serving as a newspaper reporter for Manchester Guardian. This lesson, Cricket and its Champion, is marked by his mastery, both in the game and in the most felicitous style. Contents. This lesson is a poetical expression of Neville Cardis about the sensational cricket match. He was a great lover of the game. Here, he recounts the last match of the season at Kent. In that match, a famous cricketer, Mr. Woolley, braved a century record. Besides the uproarious audience, nature also contributed for the grandeur of the match, with its wisp of clouds, chirping of birds and fine dusk. The crowd had disappeared after the match. Neville Cardis alone slowly saunters across, munching some sweet thoughts about cricket. He is proud of the game, which is the heritage of the English. He admires the modesty of cricket against the roughness of football. At June, the game will be played all over the country. Even small hamlets like Little Puddalton will be glorious with matches. They get lost in the game. As the season creeps to August, the game loses its luster. The players become weary, and ambition worn out and vanish. Autumn grows in everything. It is a game of absorbing interest. The spectators are kept under a spell when it is on. They relax along with the players. Even old uncles are no exception. They will fall in a fit of reminiscence. It is a game of sudden turn of events and chances. A slow fire will suddenly blaze by swift wind of circumstances. In no other game does a small event both makes and mars immediately. So, as far as cricket is concerned, every minute can become a deciding one. The reaction it causes among the spectators is terribly emotional. One such remarkable commotion occurred in a match for rubber between England and Australia. A player Knight held a magnificent catch for the thrill of the spellbound spectators. So, cricket means much to a man. It represents the English love of compromise between freedom and orderliness. The umpires in their magisterial coast exhibit it. They never get any contemptuous treatment as the football referees. Even the cricket fields are reverentially maintained. The game is so inured in their blood that even a lame man has his notions about it. Enjoying a cricket match in between busy schedules is a proof of man's Englishness. To put it in other words, no Englishman can resist the temptation of catching a glimpse even when he travels fast. It is a game of fascination for people of all status. A player, W.G. Grace was a celebrity of English cricket. The elevation of it being a typical English game goes to him. So, he came to be placed on equal status with persons of great renown, like Sir Albert Memorial and Sir National Debt as Sir Cricket. The champion. Neville Cardus worships W.G. Grace, a gigantic and swarthy-faced man. He describes how Grace began his career. Grace used to practice on the green pastures of Gloucestershire. The silent orchard began to creak with the cricket bat. The young boys joined him shouting with enthusiasm. The labourers passing by heard the sound. But none knew that a famous cricket man was on the making. Even before he became famous, he could give a scientific basis for the game. His methods were quite in keeping with Western fashion. This man later grew to national renown. Not a match was conducted without his participation, whether small or big. He always played a conventional game even in fashionable areas. He was a strongly built man with a forked beard. His dint of effort and gusto for each day's play made cricket a national game. Like the Victorians, he believed that authority must fully be exploited, hence, the game became a part of the Victorian epoch. Soon, he shot up to eminence by his skill, and his name got frequently mentioned by all, at all places. He became the heartthrob of all cricket lovers. People from various places thronged around the stadium. His face became familiar even among those who did not like cricket. It became a part of the etiquette among the royal family that they inquired about his health. Young boys took delight in acting and calling themselves WGG. Entrance fees got enhanced if Grace participated in a particular match. He showed no discrimination between the county and the country matches. He played both with the greatest and the humblest. Wicket-keepers deemed it an honor to declare Grace out. The crowd used to protest against such umpires who declared him so. Therefore, umpires too hesitated to do so, for it would disappoint the spectators. He was like Spofford, an acclaimed, dangerous fast bowler. This giant of a man running with his forked bead for bowling was a great fascination to his fans. As a celebrity, he used to mingle with great persons like Locust Steele and Stoddart. While playing for Thornbury, the usual scene repeated. A rustic revolted against a catch. While Grace was batting, Grace took quarter of an hour to convince and pacify the rustic. Incidents of this kind frequently occurred. Grace grew one with the game and has left an indelible impression by his significant contribution to it even to be remembered. Summary. The author begins by describing cricket as a game that represents the rich heritage of the English. He narrates how the game is played throughout the English country during June and how it comes to a natural close with the onset of autumn in August. He then compares the orderly game with the roughness of football and observes that cricket is a fascinating yet a disciplined game. He describes the game as one in which sudden change of events and chances matter most. Due to this nature, the game fascinates and enthralls people of all ages. He then goes on to speak at length about W.G. Grace, a famous cricketer who gained a national status for the game due to his scientific precision and orderliness. The author describes how the virtues of W.G. Grace made the English consider cricket as a representation of the Victorian epoch and declare it as their national game. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe and share.